Good evening, class. My name is Jeff Barnes, and tonight we're going to talk about the different parts of the compound bow. There are many different compound bows. Mainly, the only style that you're going to find in a compound bow or the push and pull design. That really sets the compound bow off from everything else. Um, Compound bows are mostly noted for their ability to have a let-off release whenever you pull the string back. The further you pull the string back, the tighter it gets. With compound bows, they're specially made and designed to have a let off, so we have more of a resting point and an easier side alignment whenever you're pulling your bows back. Um, I want my audience to know the major parts of the compound bow. There are three major parts of a compound bow. Um, the limbs of the bow are probably the most sturdiest and hard portions of the bow. They always have some kind of a design to either you'll have a double split that'll go all the way through to the bow where it'll contact to the riser, or you'll have a a single bar bow, a single bone bow, which is a little bit more sturdier. But with bows nowadays, they're made for actually lightweightness and things of that nature. Um, you have two limbs on each side of the bow, the upper limb and the lower limb. They're not exactly interchangeable parts because most bows are typically made to have a balance in them. So you're always going to have one that's a little bit larger than the other. Another part of the bow that I don't try to quite realize too is your arrow quiver. Most quivers attach to your bows. However, bows don't come with arrow quiver. This is just the major portions of the bow is what you're going to see here. Um, the riser. The riser is the backbone of the bow. You take the two limbs off, you're left with a highly carbonated or a highly metal produced piece in the middle. It's called the riser. It's the backbone of the bow. And it's the hardest of any place on the bow that is designed to have absolutely no give. If your riser gives, then your bow's broke basically. But everything centerfolds on the riser, everything attaches to the riser, i.e. whisper biscuit for holding your arrows in place, your sight for sight alignment, your string limb to keep the strings pushed back out of the way, and exactly where you hold on to the bow itself. All of that is going to be found inside the riser. The cam wheels on the bow. Each bow is going to have two cams. One's a flywheel, one's a cam itself. Notice the different sizes and the two. The flywheel is more or less just a circle that pushes the strings back and forth. However, your cam with the oblong shape at the end is where you're actually going to get your let off in the bow. One thing you don't want to do with a bow is you never want to dry shoot it, where you just pull it back and just let the string go without an arrow in it because it builds so much kinetic energy that you can shatter one of your cams, or you can just go ahead and rip your strings completely out. The cams have to move while holding the strings in place, so that's where you're going to get the most tension on your bow is when your strings are in line, when your strings are not in line, and as you pull back, the intersectors of your cams could break or snap. But that's why you don't want to have too much tension on your bow. You want to be shooting a bow that's pretty much measured to yourself, as well as the capabilities and specs outside of a bow. A lot of people, like what I did, is took a larger cam and put it on a smaller bow because I'm a big boy and I have no problem pulling back 80, 85, 90 pounds. But you wouldn't want to do that with just some of your regular new technical bows today because they're not meant to have such duration on the limbs and on the cams. Whenever you understand the inventions and technical workings of what you're working with, it's a lot easier to operate it. As long as you understand the strings, which the string is the most vital part of the bow because it has to have the ability to give and release as you shoot your bow. If anything's going to wear out on your bow first, more than likely it's going to be your string. So good proper maintenance of your strings. Hi Maya. Good proper maintenance of your strings with with a candle wax or a type of bow waxing, keeps them lubricated and keeps them fresh. But as long as you understand the different portions and the different types of mechanical pieces to your bow, you should have no problem keeping your maintenance up as well. And understanding what you're shooting, how it works, and how it's going to work with you while you're out there in the woods gives you a better understanding of what kind of shots you can take and at what kind of distances that you can take those shots. The bow has always had its iconic place in history. Today, it is still the weapon of choice for many hunters, including myself. I mean, there's nothing like taking a bow out and taking an animal or a trophy at such a close range because this takes away the distance that you have. You have to get up and close and personal with your animal, and you have to get up close and personal. It's just more of a thrill. It's more of a rush when you can say you got right there to him, 50, 60 yards, and you took him with his bow. But this bow's been one weapon that's been around for ages that has never changed. The typical design of a bow and the complexity of what it does has roots all the way back to the Stone Age. It's something that's never changed. So I employ all of you to go out, especially my family, purchase a bow, get used to it, come to the backyard, set it up, and we can shoot together. I know me and my daughter shoot all the time together, and I think we enjoy that, do we, baby?
My bow is broken.
Okay, so we're fixing it. But that concludes my speech.